Alright, good morning kids. So today I'm going to show you some of my food prep that I'm going to be doing for the week. And butternut squash, spaghetti squash, and some roasted red peppers are going to be my staple this week for all of my meals. So I'm going to kind of show you how I prep these. And then later I will show you actually a couple of the meals that I prepare for them through the week, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this spaghetti squash in half, and then I'm going to show you kind of how I prepare it, and then we'll stick each half in the convection oven to cook, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, so here's my spaghetti squash. I just trimmed the end off of it, and then it's just cut right in half, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop out the seeds, and once I have the seeds scooped out, then I'm ready to spray them down with a little oil and then season them. Okay, so we're going to just spray them down with a little avocado oil, just like a nice even coat, and then you can season it however which way you like. For me, I'm going to do a little garlic salt, some garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. And then once you have them both sprayed nice and even, I put the aluminum foil over top, and then I stick them on the rack in the convection oven. So we'll show you how to do that here in just a second. Okay, so here they are with like a nice even coat of seasoning. And then I was going to tease you and tell you, when you scoop these out, the seeds, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of like carving a pumpkin in the fall, in October, the insides, and it even smells kind of like pumpkin too. So these are all seasoned and ready to go, so all I'm going to do is cover them in aluminum foil, and I'm going to stick them in the convection oven. The cook time can vary. I usually set the temp around 375, and I'll just kind of set it the first timer for like 40 minutes. See how, if they're soft, and then when you stick them with a fork, if they're still kind of hard and doesn't feel like it'll scoop easy, then I'll keep cooking them. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these, put them in the convection oven at 375 degrees, and let those go, and then I'll show you the next video where I start prepping the other vegetables. Alright, next vegetables are just some regular old sweet peppers, and I'm going to go ahead and then slice them up into to longer lengths. And what I like to do is I like to actually do these in the air fryer, and just they're kind of like flame roasted, where they get like kind of that nice brown, where they get like burnt just a little bit on the outside. They're fabulous. I'm actually going to use these in my pasta that I make. So it'll be with the spaghetti squash, and then we'll do some roasted red peppers in it, and I like to make mine with shrimp. So I'll show you that meal later today when it's prepared, what it looks like. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys sliced up, and I'll get them in the air fryer, and you can kind of follow me along. Alright kids, so we've got the bell peppers all cut up and ready to go in the air fryer. So I kind of put a little wax paper in there to line it, and all we're going to do is just give it a little quick spray with some avocado oil. And I'm actually going to season them just the same way as I did the spaghetti squash. Just a little garlic powder and a little garlic salt. And then a little bit of the Italian seasoning. And then all I'm going to do is just kind of shake it around just a little bit, just to kind of get the oil mixed up in there a little. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them in the air fryer. And once I have them in the air fryer, I'm probably going to go ahead and set it for 375. And then I would say check on it in about 10 minutes and see how they look. And depending on how you like them cooked, if you like them a little bit softer, cook them longer. If you like them still with a little crispiness, of course, a little less time. So I'm going to start this, and then when I'm all done, I'll pull them out so you can see what they look like. My last veggie that I'm going to prep is going to be this butternut squash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end off of it, and then I'm going to actually peel it. So the skin, you just peel off this outer layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this into almost like French fry size and stick it in the refrigerator. And then during the weeknight, I just can pull it out, and I just throw some into the air fryer with a little avocado oil and a little seasoning of my choice. And you can air fry it, and they're fabulous. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the end off and get this peeled, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like when I have it peeled, and then I'll go ahead and get it cut up. Alright, so as you can see, my butternut squash is all peeled, just a regular vegetable peeler, and I take it down so it's that real bright orange, the flesh. And then what I'm going to do is you're going to need a sharp knife because this stuff is kind of firm, the flesh is kind of hard to cut. So I'm going to cut it into like french fry size pieces, and then I'll just show you a picture of a quick video of what it looks like. And I just stick it in a container so I can stick it in the refrigerator. So I have it ready to go during the weeknights, toss it in the air fryer. It's fabulous, it tastes so amazing. So give me a second and I'll show you what it looks like all cut up. Alright, so as you can see, my butternut squash is all cut up and ready to go. And one butternut makes a pretty big container. So I just cover this up and I just stick it in the refrigerator, and it's ready for the week, so I can put it in the air fryer and make like little butternut squash french fries. They're awesome. I will make a little video later so you can see what they look like when they're actually cooked. And then also too, I got all my berries for the week all kind of washed and ready to go. So I'm just letting them dry, and then I will put them in a different container. Ooh, got a gross spot on the strawberry. But so that'll be all my fruit ready for the week, and here in a minute I will show you what all my peppers and my squash look like. Alright, so my spaghetti squash is all done cooking, and you can tell because the flesh is real nice and easy to cut. And as you can see it's kind of already starting to come apart real easy. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna, when it has a little time to cool off, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll scrape all the flesh out of it, all the noodles, and just leave the shells basically. And I can just stick it in the refrigerator so that it's ready to go for the week. And I'll show you a video later today because I'm actually gonna have some of this tonight for dinner. So I'll make a video on that. Alright, Miss Danielle, or anybody who watches this, my spaghetti squash was all cooked. As you can see, I was able to just scrape it right out of the shells nice and easy. And it was a pretty big spaghetti squash, so it made a really big container. This one's heavy because it's glass. But yeah, so there's my spaghetti squash for the week. And then this is what my roasted red peppers look like after being in the air fryer for about 10 or 11 minutes. All nice and seasoned and ready to go. And later today, I will make a meal using all these ingredients and show it to you.